I'm going to give you a stat-tastic whirlwind tour of the world of reviews. I'm going to do it in 10 minutes with about 30 slides, which is going to be interesting as well. At the end of it, hopefully I'll have raised my score with you guys. At the moment, I'm guessing it's going to be fairly low. But anyway, what qualifies me to tell you about the world of reviews? Well, Feefo was formed 5 years ago, and over that period of time, we've amassed a customer base of just over 2,000 merchants that use us. We've come up with interesting stats like this, and unless you've had your head buried in the sand for the past 5 years, this won't be too much of a surprise. Pretty much 90% of all consumers that are making purchases these days are influenced by ratings and reviews. Interestingly, however, if you as a business are responding to those reviews, you are far more likely, in fact 65% more likely, to encourage that customer to deal with you rather than your competitor. This is interesting as well. Reviews are not all about online businesses. Offline businesses are as subject as anything. And 73% of consumers say that reading those reviews about the bricks and mortar businesses on the high street helps them to trust that local business more. We get asked a lot about the review fatigue, which is a common phrase going around at the moment. There are so many review companies. I'm asked to leave reviews so many times. Who can I believe? Am I just going to get bored of it? Apparently not. 3/4 of all consumers expect to leave a review as well. It's a huge stat. I thought this was cool. So, even a product with a 1-star review has 107% more chance of selling than a product with no reviews. Think about it. So no review on a page versus just, I'm saying it's not that good and it will sell more. Consumers are desperate to interact with reviews. Interestingly as well, 68% of consumers are trusting reviews more if they see good and bad scores. Gone are the days where you have testimonials posted. 10 years ago, we probably all did it, and you got Mrs. Jones from Nottingham says we're great. Doesn't work anymore. If you only post positives, they just don't believe it unless you're putting negatives in there. And of course, if you deal with that problem quickly and efficiently, then a massive amount of people, almost everyone, will come back to you, and clearly that's what you want. Here's a cool stat. With the advent of social media, mobile phones, all the rest of it, would you believe that almost 2/3 of your customers that are actually in your store are checking you out whilst they're in there? And if they're not reading the content that you've published or that you own or that you can respond to, they're reading something that perhaps you don't want them to see. But what's the most important thing about a review? Well, actually, it's trust. When you ask a consumer, they have to be able to trust it. Sadly, 25% of all reviews on the internet are fake. And it's because of review sites which are open to abuse because they're open platforms. But it's really simple to get trust. Number 1 guarantee reviews are from genuine customers. And number 2, do not moderate. That's really important. If you go out of your way to give me some information about how I can improve as a business, and yet I just discard that, how is that going to make you feel? Really poor. And of course, you now have access to just spread that message wherever you wish to your social network. And then I, as the merchant, have lost the ability to own that conversation. Interestingly as well, consumers spend 4 times as long on a website when they're interacting with bad reviews. So again, I'm emphasizing the power of these bad reviews. This is cool. They convert even higher than the average consumer, 67% more highly. And 1/3 of consumers suspect censorship if they don't see bad scores. And a tiny, tiny proportion would say that they wouldn't buy from your company if they read a bad review. And you've got to ask yourself, with the problem with returns and the high cost of returns, wouldn't you prefer to reduce that cost and only sell to people that have a higher chance of keeping that product? Companies spend billions on reputation management, when actually you could be encouraging your customers to do that work for you. And both Naomi and Rosie were talking about that in their speeches earlier. It's really important to harness the power of your customer. Don't forget, to harness the power of on and offline reviews as well. Store reviews are really important. We used to do mystery shopping. It's still around a little bit, but unfortunately it's quite costly and it's out of date almost immediately. You need to be able to encourage customers that are visiting you in stores to leave a review about their experience with you, the products they've bought from you. Tie it all into one view as well. Impressively, as a merchant, the feedback that we're getting is that every single consumer that you can gather feedback from, clearly you're also capturing their email address. So if they're visiting your store and you can get that, it's worth about £5 a year to you in extra sales, not to mention the business intelligence you're receiving. Customer reviews also improve your search rankings. Think about the content that this army of people are giving you and they're submitting into the search engines. They also increase your site traffic. So you will have all come across gold stars in your AdWord campaigns. The Holy Grail is also try and get that into your natural search results. It's really simple to do. You have to pick a company, and there are 29 of us in the world that have a Google licensed content partnership. Every day, Google comes and collects our service ratings and reviews about your business, and within about 2 to 3 weeks, these appear automatically. Google says that it increases your traffic by around 17% on average. You'll have also come across product listing ads, PLAs. We launched this with Google, I'm pleased to say, in the States just before Christmas. Google also told us that we were the largest supplier of review content to them across Europe, hence why we've rolled it out in the UK and we're helping them in Europe as well. It will drive more qualified traffic to your product pages, not just your website, but the product page that they have searched for in the first place. And let's be fair, if one of these 4 did not have a star rating next to it, you wouldn't be as attracted to it. So reviews also drive social traffic. You want to encourage them to post reviews on their own website, on their own social media, should I say, but equally you need to upload yours into your own website too. Not so good on Twitter, a bit bored about seeing all the reviews that come in. Pick the great ones and just post those up. And customer reviews grow your sales. Think about it. As consumers yourself, if you manage to read reviews about the service I'm about to buy or the product that I can get from you, and those reviews are good and there's enough of them, then you're more likely to go ahead and buy. Here's some top tips. When you're responding, number 1, try and respond to positives as well as negatives, not all positives, only because Google loves a conversation. If they're only picking up the negative conversations, then you're going to miss out on the positives. But when responding, try and put keywords in. I don't know if you can see this at the back, but the bath store have responded by saying, with a new bath, basin and toilet. And at the bottom, look, bathroom is bringing a shine to your day. Lots of keywords in there. Increasing conversion as well, we did some A/B testing on this. Place that score next to the button that the consumer needs to interact with, so the add to basket, the buy now. We managed to find out that by doing that, on top of the increase you already get from putting reviews on your pages, you can get about a 9% extra increase in conversion just by doing that. Make sure as well that you're using a reviews tool that gives you insights. There's no point having this wonderful data if you can't do anything with it. So the future reviews, very quickly, augmented reality. Came out on 3G, was pretty pants. 4G is getting better, and if 5G is to be the name of the new thing, that would be better still. It's coming back, and actually consumers will be walking down the high street and they will be looking for reviews of shops for the products that they want to buy. Video reviews. I'm pleased to announce that we are launching video reviews in about 2 weeks. It's something that Google places a huge amount of benefit to, so look out for this when it's coming. Really simple. All your consumers on Feefo will be able to upload already photos, but also videos, little 20-second snapshot of how great your service is or your product. And lastly, with iBeacons. They're not so big in the UK yet. America, they've taken off. Facebook has adopted them as well. If you don't know what they are, they're simply a little sticker, really, that emits a localized Bluetooth signal. It interacts with your smartphone. So when I walk into your store, it knows that I'm there. It can push reviews to me. It can invite me to leave a review. The really cool thing is that it also has a movement sensor. If you place that into a handbag, for instance, and the consumer picks up that handbag, then it knows immediately to either display reviews about the handbag on the local screen next to it or push that specific review to your smartphone again. So if you're not using custom reviews properly, then you can bet that your competitors will be. I think I've done that in record time as well, haven't I? Boom.